We are already in the third week of April and meeting the third globalist who is leading the tourism and hospitality industry in Korea. An industry that would not be complete without luxury hotels to welcome global travelers and to entice them to stay just a few more days. Today we are here in Gwanghwamun, the heart of the capital city and home to the Four Seasons Hotel Seoul. Here we will meet its Spanish-born general manager, Alejandro Bernabe, to talk about the trials and tribulations of running one of the most luxurious hotels in town.
Welcome to Four Seasons.
So welcome, Alejandro, to the Globalist.
Thank you very much, Jay. Pleasure to be here with you.
We are actually here at the Four Seasons Hotel. Physically, this actually is your main bar?
Yes, it's one of the two bars that we have in the hotel. It's Charles H, which is a speakeasy bar, well famous, I would say. It's more American. The concept is a little bit when the prohibition time in the States.
Oh, really?
And the bars were hidden in the metros. So you will open a door and then you will find a hidden place. So this is a little bit the bar.
Oh, so the entrance to the bar is a little hidden, and so you feel like you've discovered a bar.
Yes.
Wonderful. In addition to the bar, what makes your hotel so attractive for foreign visitors?
First and foremost is the location. We are in the center of everything happening in Korea, I will say, both from an economic point of view, but also from a historical point of view. So it's a great location to discover Korea. Second, the design of the hotel, very unique, uniting a lot of elements of Korean tradition with Korean modern world, with at the same time very international, foreign designers, but also Korean art. And the third is probably the employees that we have. I think that they are fantastic.
But you've had a few tough years. And are luxury hotels back? I mean, is COVID, in terms of tourists coming in and staying at your hotel, do you see it back to pre-COVID days?
2022, we started in February. 98% of our guests were domestic still, all Korean. By the end of the year, 75% were already foreigners.
Oh, so 98 local to 75 non-local in the space of 10 months.
Yes, not even. 2022 was the best year since the hotel opened. Since we started 2023, January, February, March are going to be record months. So we are 40% above pre-COVID.
So why is it such a bounce back from COVID?
Korea it's very attractive from an economic point of view. The country has done very, very well. So it's attracted a lot of investors. From a luxury point of view, it has become one of the, I think it's the second or third most important markets in the world. From a tourist point of view, it's fantastic. It's great, it's safe, it's vibrant, you have everything. So I think it's one of the hot spots at the moment in Asia.
And what kind of travelers do you see at the hotel? Is it usually businessmen or families?
We are quite balanced, 50-50. 50% we get a lot of investment banking and as I said, luxury brands. From fashion and cosmetics, but also a lot of tourists. Weekends is normally Koreans which like to stay in the hotels, but besides the weekend, we get a lot of Korean Americans and Americans coming to discover, coming to see what K-pop is all about, coming to see where their families are coming from. Many families that could not come during the last 3 years, then they came back now. A lot of them. And then you see multi-generation families coming, the grandparents, the parents, and then the grandchildren all traveling together, a lot more than in the past.
Some of the things that you've described about the travelers and people staying at your hotel are sort of related to COVID, that people that have not been able to travel, not been able to see their family. But in sort of if you look forward, Seoul as a destination, travel destination, how do you think it will be placed within this region?
I talked to former bosses before I came to Korea, and they used to work in Seoul 40 years ago. And when you talk to them and you ask them, how was your experience in Korea? They say, it was terrible. They really, really had a hard time. Demonstrations were very violent. There was a lot of unrest in the street. The unions were very strong, a very belligerent time. So when I was asked to come to Korea, I was in Thailand at that time. And in half of my mind was saying, really? I mean, do you really want to go there? But then we asked our Thai friends, and everybody loved Korea. Everybody. So we had the opportunity to come and visit the city, and I was in Busan as well, and you realize that it's a fantastic place to be. My personal feeling is that maybe 20, 30 years ago, if you wanted to see how the world was the future, you probably go to Tokyo or Hong Kong. Today, if you want to see the future, probably you come to Korea. Come to Seoul.
There is a similarity to 20 years ago and today. There's still a lot of demonstrations in this neighborhood.
Yes, but we joke and we say that the demonstrations is the national sport of Korea. But what is really incredible is you can have 100,000 people outside demonstrating, they finish and there is not a paper on the street. Nobody breaks anything, everybody's very respectful. So yes, they are very damaging to us from a business point of view because of the noise more than anything, but they're extremely respectful.
How do you describe or make your hotel guests understand what's going right outside the city?
So you have two types of guests. The Koreans, they get upset, which for us is, for me is very shocking because, you probably were demonstrating the day before there, So they get upset that we didn't tell them. It's every Saturday. Every day there's a demonstration, so I don't need to tell you, you know that it's going to be one. For the foreigners, some of them, they think that there's a party going on because they see all the speakers and of course we don't understand what the people are saying. So, and 50%, first they are very scared because they think, can I go, what's going to happen, can I walk through it? But then you realize that nobody bothers you. They demonstrate, they chant whatever they have to chant, and then they move on. So in general, it's quite understandable.
So it's sort of part of life in Seoul type of thing. It is interesting. But you got here 5 years ago. And although you heard a lot about what Korea was like, 5 years ago, Korea was definitely different from what it was today. So what was Korea like for you as the general manager of the Four Seasons then? And how do you see the change from then to now?
2019, Korea, I believe, opened up to the world. I don't think that there was a lot of effort in bringing tourism in the past. All of a sudden, Korea became very trendy. Everybody wanted to come here. You started to see a lot of foreign influences from everything, from food, restaurants, new hotels. Like, nothing had happened in terms of hotels for many years, and in the last 3-4 years, hotels started coming up. So I think the country was getting ready for the foreigners. COVID came, and we closed the doors, so I think we moved backwards a little bit. I think that it will take a little bit of time until we go back again to welcoming all the foreigners. It's difficult. You know, the apps are all in Korean. Majority of the information is in Korean. So as a foreigner, as a visitor, when you come, it's challenging. Seoul is still okay. Busan is still okay. But when you leave these two cities, it's a little bit difficult.
So despite the fact that you had nearly full 2 years of COVID during your 5-year stay, even that during that time under your leadership, your hotel has gotten a number of accolades, gotten a number of awards. I'm reading the Forbes Travel Guide 5-Star Award, TripAdvisor Traveler's Choice Award. How did that happen?
We have fantastic employees. I mean, we are very lucky. Our owners, they gave us a beautiful hotel in a fantastic location, so of course that helps. But then we have employees which are very passionate. I've never had a team like this in my life, very engaged, very motivated, very eager to please, and they do a great job.
Great for a service industry to have such employees. But tell us a little bit, I mean, what does that mean? I mean, in terms of going that extra mile?
So in some companies, they believe in having a very standardized service. If you want to serve a coffee, there is 20 steps, and you have to follow the 20 steps. So you will always get the coffee the same way. Four Seasons believes that luxury is individual. What you like maybe is different than what I like, maybe it's different than what another person likes. And that's very difficult to teach. You need to have people which are intuitive. You need to have people which care for other people. So I believe that the company does a great job in giving the platform to those people to showcase their abilities. I'll give you an example. When the hotel opened, it was prior to my time, Korean guests were saying that our service was bad. We're like,
Why?
Why exactly? Why? Well, because for Korea, the definition of service is consistency. If you go to a Korean hotel, you go to a Korean airline, every single employee is the same height. Yeah. Every single employee has hair the same way. Every single employee bows the same way. Right?
Yes. In the same degree.
Exactly. So we said, no, you have to be yourself. You know, bring your personality into the job. So for the first years, people were shocked. Four Seasons are rude to me. How can you talk to me like that? By now, those people have understood the difference.
You're talking about your employees that had to make that adjustment, or the guests?
No, the guests.
The guests.
I mean, we had to make an adjustment as well, because obviously if you are in New York, it's very casual. If you are here, you still have to bow, you still have to be respectful, but you still are allowed to bring your personality. So those guests now, they understand that here there is genuine care. It's not about providing service, it's about caring about you.
But that is sort of not the standard, as you say, of service even your employees are used to. So how do you allow them to bring that out?
So I think it's two ways. One, I believe, is leading by example. Everybody in the management of the hotel has to behave the same way. So that's the first thing. Second is by encouraging them and making sure that they feel that if they make a mistake, it's no problem. Of course, nobody likes to make mistakes. And if you are a guest of Four Seasons, you expect that everything is perfect. But when we make a mistake, we genuinely care. And then we try to make it up to you. So that has built a lot of bonds between many of our repeat guests and our employees.
And you as a general manager, what do you bring to this Four Seasons Hotel that you want to, as you say, lead by example?
You know, all I do is go around and talk to my employees, talk to the managers, encourage them, help them, give them a smile, give them some guidance when they need them, be there to support them. Because if they do a good job, my life becomes very easy.
From my idea, and I guess maybe it comes from movies and things, a general manager of a hotel seems to be someone who pays attention to detail. Even though they don't show it, can see, everything that's going on and knows what's going on even behind doors. Is that something that a general manager, that you as a general manager is known for or tried to attain?
In a luxury hotel, yes.
Yes.
I mean, you have to be obsessed with details because that's what makes the difference. I always say between a good hotel and a great hotel, it's just the details that makes those differences. So I come at 7 o'clock in the morning and I'm already walking and looking, okay, the problem is that you tend to focus on the negative, right? So when you walk into this bar, you see the bar, oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
I walk into this bar saying, okay, what's wrong? Is there any light bulb that is not working? Is there anything that is damaged? So you have to take one step backwards and sometimes say, we do a great job, or my team is doing a fantastic job, well done. No? Because otherwise you tend always to bring, we have done good, how can we do better?
Yeah. But, I've been told that you have also encouraged a lot of your employees to take more creative and aspects and bringing Korean aspects into your hotel. Is that something that you emphasize?
First of all, we should feel proud of where we are. And we are very lucky. Sometimes you are in countries where there is less things to feel proud of. But in Korea, there is many things from cultural point of view, from food, from design, from so many things. So I encourage them to embrace those things. We have incredible fruits in this country. Everything is on season. So the strawberries are perfect, the oranges are perfect, the pears are incredible. So for me, it's a pity not to showcase that. It's a pity not to showcase as well the culture. And we did it during COVID, is we created a new bar called Ul. If I am a foreigner and I come to Korea and I want to discover the Anju culture of drinking and having some snacks, it's difficult. It's maybe a little bit too adventurous sometimes, going through some of the alleys. So we created this bar where all the liquors that we have are all Korean. So you can have a gin and tonic if you want, but it will be with a Korean gin. You have wines, but they are all Korean wines. Every single alcohol, it's coming from Korea. The food is all Korean, an extremely modern element to it. The uniform is like hanbok, but very modern hanbok. Music, it's a DJ, but it's a Korean DJ playing Korean music. So I think it has worked very well with a different clientele, a much younger clientele that maybe were not coming to our hotel before. And for the foreigners, it's great because I don't need to go out. I can be in a safe environment, have a nice drink, and see what the young people are doing.
But I see it's not just in your liquor. I mean, even in the drink that we're having, which has started out really beautiful, you incorporate Korean. This, I believe I was told it had a Korean pear, which is the main subject. Right? So these are the kind of drinks, even non-alcoholic drinks, that you create?
Yes, I don't drink alcohol, and I hate having to have the typical fruit juice with a lot of syrup and sugar on it. So I think that our head bartender has done a fantastic job of creating interesting non-alcoholic cocktails that you should not feel punished just because you don't drink alcohol.
I haven't tasted this yet. It looks a little too pretty to drink. It's not sweet, which is a good thing. I don't want it to be sweet.
And there's complexity on them.
There's a complexity of, it's fruit not just for fruit's sakes, but it has mixed other elements in it. Gives it depth.
Yes, exactly.
Interesting. Still, Korea's emerging, Seoul's emerging, as you say, but we're still in the starting point. It's relatively still difficult for non-Koreans to access these points outside of Korea. Is there any way that you help foreign tourists access these points?
I was part of a fam trip organized by KTO, by Korean Tourism Organization, that they took us to the East Coast, show us different places to visit and activities. And I think that the program is fantastic. I just think that Korea, and I will consider myself, let's say, as a Korean citizen or a Korean resident, we do a great job of not letting the people know what is happening. Because maybe if the people know, it becomes successful. Yeah. So we wanted to keep it very exclusive. Okay. And we don't tell the people. No? Yesterday there was a great concert in the city, but nobody knows.
Only the people that knows.
Only the people that knows. So why is it so difficult to disseminate that information? I don't know. Korea has a lot of closed chats, or group chats. And if you're not part of that group chat, you don't know what is happening. Probably it will take a little bit of time, eventually, until we break those barriers.
Well, since you're on the Globalists, you have the chance to let people know about something that you know. You see as a hotelier, you have a different eye, a potential for foreigners that outside of Seoul. If someone was to ask you what was one hidden adventure, hidden place that people haven't discovered that you think they should discover, what would that be?
I think there's two things. One is this neighborhood. The neighborhood around the hotel.
Just even this neighborhood?
Yes, in this neighborhood. I was very surprised. I have a friend who took us around and explained to us about the history of the neighborhood. I live here for 5 years and I didn't know even what is across the street. People which are still living there since before the war with North Korea. So it's really, you see how the city has transformed in 70, 80 years. And second, I think it's very unique to this city, is the ability to go hiking or trekking even within the city. I mean, it's incredible, the mountains, how perfect they are, and how manicured and clean and safe.
Yeah. We think it's no big deal to take a subway and to go hiking, but people are very surprised that that's possible.
Yeah, because you normally have to get out of the city to be able to do that, and here it's just you turn a corner and then whoops, there's the mountain.
Yeah, and there's a mountain trail that everyone's on already.
Yes, so that's something that the day that we will move from here, probably we will miss.
Yeah. So you say Korea and your hotel is now on a starting block again to welcome the world to Korea. In the future, if you look forward, what does Korea look like in 2-3 years? What does your hotel look like in 2-3 years from now?
I don't think our hotel will change too much. Yeah, I think that we are very lucky because the design of the hotel is really good and the elements that they build the hotel are very good. However, 50% of our business in this hotel is food and beverage. And food and beverage, it's very dynamic. So we already opened the new bar. We are going to do a new private room here in Charles H. We are going to come up with new concepts for some of the restaurants. So from an F&B point of view, it will be a very different hotel in the future. From a city point of view, I think that Four Seasons was a catalyst for changes in this country. until Four Seasons opened, there were not many luxury brands from a hospitality point of view. Since we opened, there has been more and more both local and international brands. And I believe in 3-4 years, the city will change. There will be a lot more. I hope it will not compete with ours, but I think the area of Itaewon has a great potential with the redevelopment of American base, depending on what is decided. I think that area can be a fantastic place in the city.
So expect even more changes to come in 2-3 years?
Definitely.
Well, we'll look forward to that. So thank you very much for your time and hope to see you back here then.
It will be a pleasure to be with you anytime.
And that's it for me. I'll be back next week with another globalist who is putting Korea on the map. Son Ji-ae out.